Welcome to Cowgirl Talk, where we empower you to live authentically through real food, real talk, and real life. Sisters brought together by our love of cows. We're your host, Emily, a dairy lover and personal trainer living in Florida.
And Becca, a corporate cowgirl holding down the family fort in Pennsylvania. Let's go, cowgirls!
Hello, and welcome back to Cowgirl Talk. So, today's episode is going to be, and I don't want to say fun, I'll also call it interesting, but as Becca sips her coffee, it's like, here's the tea. As we are sisters, we thought it would be, again, a different type of episode to cover our, I'll say a few of our most, we would say, unhinged sister fights. So for any sisters listening to this, honestly, anyone with siblings, I know you can have unhinged sibling fights in general. You may be able to relate and resonate with this, maybe a little bit too closely of like, oh yeah, we've had those moments with our siblings. Or if not, and you're just the perfect siblings that never have any fights or issues, then you won't be able to resonate with this. But I think it's going to be fun to kind of hash out some of these old fights.
And like, there's no trigger warning needed. They're all funny.
Yeah, they are.
There's only one that's like slightly personal, and we were like...
Becca used as something I was super insecure with at the time.
We were kids, and I was driven to the point of madness. So there's no trigger warnings. There's nothing like personal that we're going after here. They're so funny. Oh my god. And we still get in them, by the way. But it's usually only when alcohol is involved.
Yeah.
But last night we were watching Game of Thrones, and
I thought you guys already finished that.
Well, this is like our new comfort show.
Oh, interesting.
I know. And so this is like when the books ran out, the writing on the show gets so bad.
Oh, you can tell?
Oh my god. And yeah, and then like before, I'm not even going to get into that. Sorry. That's like another...
That could be a whole podcast episode.
Yeah. But there's two sisters, like of the main family, like of one of the main families of the show, the Starks and the North.
I need to watch.
And Sansa's the older sister and Arya's the younger one. And Arya and Sansa always like didn't get along when they were little. Mm-hmm. And because Sansa was a lady and Arya wanted to be a knight.
Was that
But like there's a guy when they're older and like they all go through hell and they come back and whatever. They're both back at Winterfell, their home. And Arya, I was getting so mad at her for the way she was treating Sansa. This little turd. But I was like, I told Joey, I was like, you know what? I think I'm mad at Arya because it reminds me of like when Emmy and I would fight, like what Emmy would get mad at me
just
for.
Just like how unnecessary it is when you're looking back on it.
Well, and even Sansa, she was being unnecessary. So I was like, oh, this is funny. And he was like, well, aren't you talking about that on the podcast? I thought, yeah, we're just like Sansa and Arya Stark.
You were like, oh yeah, we're exactly. Do they ride dragons?
No, they're not the one who rides dragons, but...
Bummer.
Moral of that story is they fight, then they realize, oh, this other guy's pitting us against one another, and they come together, they kill him,
yes!
and then they rule the North.
Oh, and, hell yeah.
They're sisters that, like, it's awesome. So sisters always come out on top.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun part about the conversations. Well, and just being sisters in real life, not just talking about it, but... Very often, my favorite thing about having siblings is that you're going to have your moments, but you get over it pretty quickly. I mean, there's some quickly
about siblings.
More than others. Sometimes it's like, I want to hold this grudge. But we've always been great about, we'll move on. Who cares?
Yeah. We've never had a fight, though, that I feel like has ever
like
warranted
deep
a grudge.
To the bone kind of cut. Yeah, fight.
May God never bless us.
I know. I'm not trying to get to that level.
But especially as girls, as women,
or petty,
I feel like
maybe
women don't confront each other as much as men do. Mm-hmm. Sisters do. Sisters are like dudes.
Yeah,
and it's just amazing. Like we honestly have to like each other after we fight.
Yeah, because then it's just awkward if you don't like. Now what do we do with ourselves?
Like, well, I'm not going to ruin the family dynamic. Are you going to ruin the family dynamic?
You're like, all right, we have to move on now.
We like each other again.
Oh, man. So, yeah, It'll be interesting. We came up with 4 fights, and they kind of go through a couple different phases of life. I would say different ages. But before we dive into our unhinged fights, as we are calling them, we're going to do our high, lows, buffaloes. So, Becca, which one do you want to start with?
Oh, I can start with my high.
Okay, cool.
My high was that, oh gosh, I can't remember what Friday it was, but it was a Friday within recent history of
Was it
living
last
in this,
week?
Was it last week? I don't know. I've lived in this house for
like
3.5 weeks, and it was one of the Fridays that I've lived here.
I feel like you posted it last week. Because was it after
Oh yeah, it was
Emily
February
and Amy?
28th. Yeah.
After they
it
helped
was
clean.
literally last Friday. Okay, so I hosted all of my gal pals that live here for Galentine's Day. It was a lot of fun. I had just gotten back though from that Dairy Girl Network trip, so I was like, hey, listen, if you guys want to cook, fine. Usually we each do something, but like, let's just order takeout from Plaza, the local Mexican restaurant.
Yum.
And it was a lot of fun. That was delicious. But the dining room was all set up. I had it all cute.
It was cute.
But the dining room, I eventually want to be like a playroom or like where all the shiz goes room. So I don't want to buy a formal dining room and table because I was trying to look up like foldable ones. And they're really dining room sets are really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. All furniture, man. It's wild.
It's like, oh, I feel like people have dining rooms, I'm now realizing.
Y'all are bougie.
As a work of art, literally. Like it's a flex. The furniture is a flex. And so I got a plastic table and chairs.
Hell yeah.
And I was one plastic chair short because I cheaped out and got the 6 chairs instead of 8. And I'm like, I should have just gotten the 8 chairs.
Tisk.
And I put my $3 tablecloth on it, my $3 pink napkins decorated with some pink, like the all pink starburst. It actually ended up looking really cute.
It was.
Yeah. I think the plates made it. The plates in my fancy cups that I got from the wedding made it. So it was fun to decorate. I've never been able to host. And my friends like usually take turns hosting, so it was nice being able to do that.
You stepped up and you're like,
Yeah.
I can finally do it. And was the food good? I mean, it's a place you always go, but...
Yeah, I mean, we got like chicken, rice, cheese quesadillas.
Yummy.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. I enjoyed
Love
it. I
that.
can't wait to, next week we're hosting, our cousin, Yvonne's coming over with her husband who, like, is the one who did all the contracting work. So I'm excited for him and them to see, like, okay, you knew what before looked like. Here's everything we did, and now here's how we've decorated it. So I'm excited for them to see it.
Well, I'm really excited
Oh, and
to
I'm
see it.
hosting you guys Sunday.
Yeah.
So I've got, like, my cute little plan ready for that as well.
Yay. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. And that's kind of my highs. I had 2. I wrote down 2. The first one, and then the second one will be the one that relates to what you just talked about. But the first one is, just with my Dare Girl Fitness, I launched our 13th round of group coaching, our Fit and Fearless Circle group coaching. So
That's nuts.
I know. It's always, it's always just a high when you get to launch another type of coaching, another program with it. And the fact that it's our 13th round, which 13's always been my favorite number. So I was like, heck yeah, I can't believe we've been doing it since, gosh, I think it was end of 2020, I think it was. So it's been going on a couple years now. So that's something I'm really excited for. It'll end right before, so it's like 10 weeks. It'll end right before, June 1st, technically. So the timing of, I was like, oh, we got to do this because I'm having a baby in June. So launched the round, going to be starting end of March. And then my other high, which it technically hasn't happened yet, but is this upcoming weekend, which will be this past weekend by the time y'all are listening to this. But I had my baby shower in Pennsylvania, and Becca's like, apologies if I accidentally call it your bridal shower, because it is funny. It's at
I've
the
been
exact
doing
same place. It's pretty much the exact same people. So I was like, it's pretty much the same thing, celebrating a different thing.
And we both had our bridal shower at this place.
Yes.
In March? No, you had yours at Christmas time. I had mine in March.
I got married in March, so yours would have been, but lots of stuff
Like,
had happened
literally-
in March.
your baby shower is happening at the same place on almost the year anniversary of like my bridal
you
shower.
got married a year ago. It feels like that already happened, like, forever ago.
I know. So I think that might be it, because I'm like, okay, this feels like my bridal shower.
Well, yeah, because we had ours, would have been 2 years in a row. Like, mine was there.
Yeah, this
and
is
then
year
you had
3.
yours there. And now we're having another event there.
It's pretty
So,
crazy.
Totally
Okay,
understandable.
that's why I'm messing it up.
Won't
So
be
if I say
wearing
bridal
white.
shower, I mean she's getting married to the life of being attached to a baby.
Yeah, they both start with a B. So
Yeah, whatever.
it works. But I'm excited for it. And I'm also, excited to see the house. I got to see it around Christmas time, but I'm excited to see it now just more settled in with, more of your spin and touch on it. So I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's what my low and buffalo kind of relate to your high.
Oh, okay. Rude.
No, the lowest.
Yeah, well, this is the worst day for me. Okay,
the
how do they
lowest,
tie in?
The low is so silly, but I have a monthly Rent the Runway subscription.
Oh, see, I just started newly.
And, well, the monthly, I don't need the monthly anymore, but I keep it because it gives me a significant difference on the one-time rentals. Like, a huge difference in the price. And it's, every month I have a reminder to go in and pause. Because I can't, like, pause it for more than a month at a time.
Oh,
And
it's
this
like
month,
what I used to do with Fabletics.
yeah. And this month I just totally forgot to pause it. So I was like, ugh. I got the charge. I'm like, ugh.
You have to rent something.
I know. I was like, I don't have anything. I don't need 5 items. And this
I
time they
know.
gave me a bonus, so I have 6. But I was like, you know what? Guess I'll spend this money, and I'll also have a cute dress for Emmy's
Yeah.
bridal shower.
There you go.
And so, yeah, that's my low that is turning into a buffalo. I'm just excited for this weekend.
Yay. That was kind of random. I mean, that's what a buffalo is. It's like, okay, cool.
Actually, I lied. I had another buffalo written, which was that this is my mug that our friend Caitlin from Georgia got me as a thank you gift.
Aw,
Or
is
why
that
do you lie?
officially the mug? That's cute.
Yeah. So that was actually my buffalo. But I was
Oh, I
trying
like
to make
that.
the other one work, and it just wasn't happening.
I mean, it worked. It was random. That's what a buffalo is. It's just a random tidbit from your week.
What about you?
For me, and also, the dress that I'm wearing for the baby shower is also a rental from Newly, which Newly is, I know maybe once I'm not pregnant, it's like, okay, I don't need 6 rental items every month. But for maternity leave, it makes sense. But I think you get 6 items, and I think it's cheaper than Rent the Runway. So I was like,
How much a
hell,
month?
$99.
Oh, definitely
Yeah.
cheaper. Like
Yeah.
$60 cheaper.
Oh, dude, you gotta get on it.
You need to show me the app to see if they have the same type of selection. 'Cause
Oh, I didn't even think of
Newly is
downloading the
more
app.
like Newly's more like Revolve and Anthropology.
It could be, less of the
Yeah.
high-end, like, dresses and such.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll talk
Very
about that this
interesting.
weekend. But my low is an expensive-ass vet bill, which is not for a bad reason. Oh, gosh. Yeah, sorry. I should have started that off.
Jesus.
We just had our yearly appointment with Hudson, and, since we do it once a year, it's always just, like, they have their suggestions. So, yeah, okay, do that. And then you get the vet bill at the end, and I'm like, holy shit.
What are you getting done at this vet?
Well, so he gets, his yearly shots, and Hudson is on thyroid medication. So, yeah, that was a couple years ago he got on it, and it had helped. He was losing his hair. He's already a chill dog, but he was even more lethargic, and so we've just always kept him on it, and he's fine. But just through that, then it's like, oh yeah, just always, do a blood test every time and whatnot. And then every time, though, I forget how freaking expensive this blood test is. It's like a blood, fecal, urine, whole thing, whole analysis. It's like $300. I know.
Absolutely not.
I know, but I always forget it. Apparently, there's a year in between is enough for me to forget that, oh, I should say no. And I totally forget. And, oh, thank God, the vet called me yesterday. He's like, hey, everything's great. And I'm like, thank you. I'm so glad I spent the $300. on this. And that was just, on top of the shots. And, when he was looking at his ear, oh, the ears are kind of dirty, a little bit inflamed. We should take a culture. It's like, sure. That cost me money, of course. And then...
You're a sucker.
Well, I'm just like, yeah, do it. I didn't, not automatically thinking it continues to add to the bill. And then I got, this is really also where it added up, 6 months of the Simparica Trio. So the heartworm, triple axis, whatever medication. And this vet bill, like, oh, here's your vet bill. And I
was like, oh, she's like, okay, she's had a $200 vet bill. Relax.
No, it was $700.
Emily.
Dude, the Simparica Trio is almost $300 for the 6 month of it. So
yeah, but that's money that will last across 6 months. That's like $50 a month. That's not that bad.
No, but the rest of it, yeah. I checked out and was like, thank you.
It's like I literally cannot even imagine you at an oil change.
That's why we actually got one done this past weekend, and Ruben was with me. So.
My answer is always like, and I used to lie before. I would say like, I'll call my dad, or I'll call my dad and my husband, and I'll come back if they think I need it. But now I am like, yeah, let me talk to my husband. And as soon as you say dad or husband, they leave you alone.
It's like, oh shit, they're bringing in a second opinion. Yeah, I feel that. So that happened at the vet, and people talk about whatever, medical professionals like doing this or doing that. You know who always gets me? It's the vets. It's not the doctors, it's the vets. So sorry if you're a vet listening to this, but every time I go to the vet, I always spend way more than I plan on. Yeah, well, they should let you know, hey, before I do this, it's going to cost you money. $300. Because some of those things sound like, well, not the blood work, but like the ear culture and things like that. Like, oh, let me check his ears. Like, oh, wasn't that a part of the appointment? Like, what am I paying you for? Yeah. And that's not, we love vets very much. We're just complaining. I know. I was just shocked. I was like, what the hell? Emily, come on. So that's my low. But Hudson's all good. So, hi. And my buffaloes are, Ruben and I finished Full Swing Season 3, which is a golf show on Netflix. It just follows all the PGA players. So it's super fun if anyone likes golf. Season 3 is good. And then tomorrow morning, so Friday, so earlier than when y'all will be listening, I have my glucose test tomorrow, and I'm nervous to drink the drink. Some people are like, it literally doesn't matter, and then some people are so dramatic, say, it's so gross, it's so bad. So that's why it's not low. I'm just intrigued to see what it actually tastes like. Yeah. Like, is it really that bad? Maybe it is. I feel like most people are just like, whatever. It's like sugar water, basically. I mean, they're just trying to run your, see how your blood sugar runs up. So, and mine's a lime flavor. Oh. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, so that's my buffalo. I think it'll be fine. I think people who say it's gross are just doing it for maybe it's like taste bud specific. I don't know. I mean, if we can take shots of tequila, I can't imagine that a glucose test could be, much worse than taking shots of alcohol. But also just the fact of, I just hope it's a good result as well. Yeah, it's a kind of like a mini bottle. Yeah. I mean, if you have gestational diabetes, I know I do so. I know we're going to dinner tonight. Well, like this morning I'm getting a fun coffee with a friend, and then tonight we're getting dinner at the place that catered our wedding because it's kind of like our last dinner here before we move. And so I'm like, oh no, I'm doing this all before my test. So I'm gonna have to go on a walk tonight, go on a walk tomorrow because I eat these things regularly, but I'm doing it the day before my glucose test. Maybe just get a regular coffee today. No. I'll just go on a run or something instead. You know what? No. I'll just exercise because I don't want to mess up my fun coffee. It's going to be a macadamia nut chai, so it's very good. That'll be yummy. Call me when you have gestational diabetes. Well, that's rude. So that'll be my potential low next week because Becca gave me bad karma. And here's our latest unhinged sister fight. Becca spoke and manifested gestational diabetes for me.
Oh,
Yay!
shut up. If you actually have
Oldest
that
sisters are always the worst. That's what you'll learn in these unhinged fights. The worst.
They're always the most reasonable.
Doubt that. You'll hear soon. They're not
We
reasonable
won't have
at all.
it.
Okay,
You
so
won't have it.
well, now we have to dive into it, and then you guys can vote at the end. Who is the more unhinged one?
Okay, but with your vote, you have to say if you're an older sister or a younger sister.
Yeah, that'll actually probably be where most people vote. It'll just be where
Yeah.
they end up falling in the sibling timeline.
That's why I related to Sansa over Arya.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe it won't even be fair for how people think. They'll just relate back to their own stories and their own experience.
Or if you're one of our lone brothers out there,
Like ours,
We
with
can-
3 older sisters.
we have a story of how it impacted our brother.
And I had some unhinged fights with Tyler. Because Tyler and I were always the closest in age. So him and I had some unhinged fights. But this is specifically about Becca and I. So we wrote down 4 fights. And they all have funny names. Can I just like read off the names and then we'll go into them?
Yeah.
So when Becca called Emily fat fight. The lunch money fight. Luigi's chicken parmesan fight. And then the...
Chicken Alfredo.
it was chicken parm.
Oh, okay. Whose chicken Alfredo did I eat?
Maybe there was this time. Maybe.
I had Dad made me a plate of a tour. Sorry,
Okay.
keep
Well,
going.
see, he was nice and shared. And then we figured to get into like more adult fights, those were mostly just drunken fights. So those are just called the drunken fights. So let's dive into when Becca called Emily fat fight. So I was like, Becca, are you sure we want to talk about this? Are people going to think you are fat shaming me? So this was when we were
if they only
young.
read the article title, then yeah. If they're a title skimmer, then
clickbait.
yeah.
So which side should we tell first? This is when we would have been. I braced. Did I have braces? Or
No, I have braces because I
had
eventually bit
braces.
you back and drew blood, and I got in trouble,
Evil.
but you didn't.
Evil. So I think I probably then would have been maybe, like 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's also when. Okay, some background info here. I was never like huge or large, but I felt chubbier than the other girls in my grade. And technically, like, I kind of was. And not, again, in a crazy way. Like, we played tons of sports and all of that. But for how my body looked compared to some other girls, I was just chubbier than them. And it was more so probably something that I felt because we were in dance. And I don't know if you were still in dance at that point.
Those people were evil.
Yeah, so we were in dance, and I danced for 10 years. And it wasn't the girls in the dance, but more maybe
The teachers at Seagulls were like commented on little girls' weight. It was actually kind of crazy.
or
now
you
that I
get
think
thrown
about
to
it
the
as an
back.
adult.
Like you always get in
Yeah.
the back row if you're not small
Like,
and
I don't
petite.
know
And
who they thought they were in Altoona, Pennsylvania, producing average ass dancers.
okay, come on. Okay. Well, rude. If we have any Seagulls dancers listening, sorry.
We're Seagulls dancers.
Okay. We're the average ass dancers.
Listen, there was not enough women who went professional dancing
For them to be mean.
telling 10-year-olds comments about their weight or their feet.
Yeah, so I think maybe that's
They
also
should do
where
that
it
anyways.
kind of came from, of just I always knew I was a chubby girl in dance, or for what everyone else looked like. I got put
Yeah.
into the back, so it was something for a little bit of time that I wasn't crazy insecure about, but it was just something I was aware of. And so one day Becca capitalized on that, and it wrecked me.
Are you gonna like tell the story from the beginning?
Well, that's all I can really remember. I was so traumatized by it.
Oh my god! See,
And
this
then
is the
I remember
thing.
what happened afterward for when you got punished. I remember that part, and I'll tell that part.
Yeah,
'cause it's
here's
funny.
the thing. Emily never got punished for being a little dick. I only got
rude.
punished
'Cause Becca's
when
mean.
I retaliated and I finally stood up for myself.
Okay,
And
sure.
Emily would bite me. She would bite my friends.
I would only bite her friends when I was like really young. And thinking back, I know we both know the one guy I would always bite. That was like a dog sense that was a good person to
That's
bite because
true.
he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
He's not kind of a dick, he is. So that was a dog sense of like bite
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. You were just being an absolute little jerk. I can't. All I
I don't
remember is
what
biting.
was happening. Yeah, I don't remember like what was happening. I just bit Becca for like probably a really hard bite.
Emily was like physically violent. She still is.
Maybe that's why my baby punches so much. There's the demon in him like me.
It doesn't even matter. I should have never said that. But okay, as a 12-year-old or whatever I was, probably 12, 13.
Yeah.
And she was being mean to me and my friends and being physical, and who knows what happened.
I remember I bit Becca.
She drove me to the point of finally I cracked and I said the one thing that I knew would make her stop. And, well, I got grounded and I couldn't go to my
if you get
AIM
piece
boyfriend's
Becca called
birthday
me
party.
fat. And she meant it at that moment. She's like, you're fat. And I was like, no. I was so upset. And so how did you get in trouble then? Because I immediately tattled on you.
Well, I couldn't go to a birthday party where my AIM boyfriend would be at. And he ended up dating another girl after that party.
See, it was meant to be the trajectory of your life. Because you're married now.
God, no. You know what? I still stand by that. I don't stand by you deserve to be called that. That was a very mean, awful 13-year-old girl moment. But what I need you to understand is that Emily drove me to that point.
See, placing the blame on other people, older sister behavior. Not taking responsibility for her actions. I'm not surprised. But no, so I was a menace, and I took Becca to the edge, and I bit her, and she called me fat. And in that like stage of my life, it hurt my feelings so bad. I was like,
well, and just imagine how evil we are as girls at 13.
Yeah, like we're mean. We are. We will say things to try to cut to the core, and so. And Becca got in trouble, couldn't go to the birthday.
I lost my boyfriend.
Yes, I ruined Becca's life. And then, my favorite part about all of this is I remember specifically, so also at this point, I was planning to be an artist when I grew up. So I just always liked to draw and doodle. And I remember I drew a picture of an angel and a devil. And me was the angel, Becca was the devil, and her parents hung it up on the fridge. They're like, yeah, remember what you did. So they hung up my artwork depicting Becca as like a demon and me as an angel. Shout out to them for just hanging that up. They're like, you know what? Y'all suck. We're hanging this up so you remember what happened.
And they were probably like, you're both fucking annoying.
That's why they just hung it up.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, I remember that artwork specifically. It was like me, cute little angel, Becca, little demon.
I forgot about that.
That's my favorite part of the whole fight. The fact that I drew a picture and they hung it up on the fridge.
Okay, so you know what? Her drawing that picture is the perfect example of what a little menace she was, guys.
I was an artist. I was expressing myself. Oh man,
I'm crying. Oh my god. Okay,
that would be. See, Becca's all of her repressed trauma is coming up. So that would be our youngest.
I can't stop laughing.
That would be our youngest
remember.
unhinged fight. Yeah, I mean,
oh my god.
There's like, of course, so many moments in between, but the next one is called our lunch money fight, and I don't remember. I think this happened before the Luigi's chicken parmesan fight. I think Becca was in.
I can't remember the age of the Luigi chicken parm fight.
Yeah. Okay. So lunch money fight. We all would have had to been in high school at that point because you were driving us to high school.
Tyler was in 7th grade.
Okay, so I would have been in 9th grade.
It's the only time we were all in high school together.
So you would have been a senior.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's kind of the age, like, and Williamsburg was small.
I was laughing so hard I'm coughing.
Williamsburg is so small, like 7th to 12th grade is all just in one building, like it's the high school.
Yeah.
So we would all go to school together, and I think I talked about it last week. Right? Like one thing to know about, would we be late or whatnot with our coffee with our younger selves? I am late. I'm a lollygagger. I dilly-dally. And I was like that in high school. And Becca had to deal with that. And
yeah, okay, so for some background before I see all these stories are me coming to my breaking point.
Okay, well, this one was dramatic on Becca's end because it was not intentional, but Becca was just so fed up with being late. But Give some background.
So, no, I still think it was intentional.
No, it is not. I would not lie to it at this point. See, Becca
Okay,
being irrational.
I'm kidding. Okay.
No, she's not. She's not kidding. She thinks I did this on purpose.
Oh,
still.
my vein is popping out. Oh my god. Okay.
All the trauma.
I need to find a new therapist after this.
You remember when we talked about this? We need to bring it up.
Oh my god, I need a tissue. Okay, so literally the day before this happened, or very recently before, which is so funny. The homeroom teacher that I had is now my dog sitter.
Yep. Full circle moment.
Full circle moment. If you're listening, what's up, Kathy? Shout out, Kathy. But I was late every day to homeroom because I would have to drop off Em and Ty at the front of this. I would drop them off, and then I would have to go park my car and figure out where to park, and then come inside.
Limited parking for our little school, so if you lost your spot,
I was late. Yeah, because I was late, and someone would take your spot, and so I would always be 5 minutes late or something to homeroom. And I hate being in trouble. I was a little rule follower, a little brown noser. And Mrs. Mock finally said to me, if you're late again, you're getting blah, blah, blah. I don't know, written up,
I don't
detention,
remember what happens when you're late for homeroom.
She threatened me with being in trouble of some sort that, would be a punishment. And I was like,
no way.
No fucking way. And I remember, telling that to Emmy, and it just did not make a difference.
No, sorry, you cannot change my
It did not make a difference.
Late.
And the one day, this isn't even about being late. She forgot the lunch money. She was supposed to grab the lunch money, and we had talked about it, and she forgot it. And I was, there's, of the last, let's just say, 3 blocks before school, there's 2 stop signs you have to stop at, and then you get to the front of the school.
So you can see the school at this point.
You can see the school. It's at the bottom of the hill. I stop 2 blocks away from the school, maybe a block. It's not that far.
A block, because we were by the mayor's house. I don't know if he's still the mayor.
At the second stop sign.
So you literally see the school, a block.
You can see it
right above you.
And Emily said she forgot the lunch money, and I was so mad at her, and I stopped the car, put it in park, and said, you did this on purpose.
She's like, get out of the car.
I told her, get out of the fucking car. I was screaming at her. I was like, you did this on purpose. I was...
Becca broke.
I broke. I absolutely broke. Oh my god, I wish there was a video of how ridiculous I looked. And Emily's just like,
I'm not getting out of the car. I refused. I was like, I'm not getting out of the car. Because first off, I didn't do it on purpose. And second off, we're at the school. I'm not getting out of the car. You're being psycho right now.
Yeah, but
I probably said that.
I think I was probably also always mad because you never just admitted you were late.
Well, because it's just...
Or said sorry. He's sorry.
Sorry.
You almost got detention.
Okay, sorry I made everyone late.
It's
my fault.
Sorry, I was a psychopath.
So at this point...
Tyler.
We were yelling. I
forgot Tyler existed.
Forever. Yeah.
We literally forgot our brother existed.
He's just sitting in the back I hate my life.
He got out of the car. I don't even know if he slammed the door or shut it quietly. He probably just shut it quietly.
Sneaking out.
Yeah, he just calmly got out of the car, shut the door, and walked to school. And Em and I both just looked at each other and drove the rest of the way in silence.
Well, this is awkward. We're at that awkward point of now we have to move on and live with our decisions.
Yep, and so...
Don't worry, we got lunch that day, though.
Yeah, they were going to pay. I think I was like, not only am I going to get detention for being late, now that they're not going to feed me lunch.
Yeah, Becca's trying to throw it all on me.
I was.
The lunch money we won't get to eat. I'm going to get her in detention. And again, I was a bad late person. But this moment, it broke her. Becca thought I was intentionally sabotaging the whole family. And she tried kicking me out of the car
what
a block from school. I was like, you know what? No, fuck you. I'm not getting out. Oh, sorry, language.
That's so funny.
This is what sister fights bring up.
This is the kind of core memory bubble that they need to include in Inside Out.
Which one would this be? There's so many different emotions.
The guy with fire on his head.
That would be. I don't know what I was in the moment. And the girl was just like, I don't remember what that.
Oh yeah, she's like laissez-faire, or like the one that doesn't care in the
Oh
second
God, I
movie.
can't remember.
Boredom?
Because it's like when she becomes
no.
a teenager.
Yeah. There was
That-
boredom in the one that was like, whatever, like, I don't care.
Yeah, like it would have been that one, I think, for me in
Yeah.
the moment of like, like good for you. So, yeah, what really made it though was Tyler was sitting in the back just having to suffer the consequences of Becca and I being the worst. Poor guy. He should probably go to therapy for that specific moment.
He should go to therapy for that.
Just for that moment. Okay, I have this one really specific thing. It's the only thing I need to talk about. My sisters and their lunch money fight. So yeah, but then we moved on. And then, I don't even know what time of the year it was, but like we probably had softball practice afterwards. Because at that point we would have played together, and then we moved on. And literally didn't matter, but it's a fun fight to talk about.
Oh my God. Favorite memory.
So that one, okay, so we have a fat one, we have a lunch money one, and then we have a food one. And I'm very serious about my food.
Emily would murder you with a fork to get the last piece of dessert.
Yeah, I'm serious about my food. Like
You and Aaron with the dessert.
Even Ruben,
we would always get spoons as kids, and you and Aaron, it was like,
it.
I didn't even try to eat the dessert. I was like, well, not with them around.
So yeah, I'm very serious about my food. And Ruben even tries bringing this shit up, and it annoys me. And he'll always be like, did you not eat when you were younger? Like, why don't you share? I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, Ruben, she did, and she ate it all.
I was like, no, because when Ruben wants something mine, I'm like, I'll just make you something. I'll just make you another version of this. He's like, no, I want yours. I'm like, well, I don't want to give it to you.
Be like,
And then
you
he's like,
die
you
today,
have
boy?
problems. So, yeah, again, like,
Or how you'd lick every cookie.
yeah, again,
Sorry.
sharing, I'm going to have to get better. Like, with my kid, he's going to want a bite of something. I'll be like, fuck off. Just kidding. I'm going to be a great mom. But seriously, yeah, like, I love my food and just having, like, when it's an experience, too, of something that I don't get often. So
That's how
where-
we all are as a family. Like, that's a family thing.
Yeah, like
It's all
we're
us.
foodies. And so there's a spot in Pennsylvania. There's two restaurants. It's called Luigi's. And there's one in Du Bois and
The other one's in a C something.
Clarion? Clarion?
I don't know if it's Clarion or like Centersville or something.
Yeah, I can't remember, but there's two of them. And it is just true, authentic Italian
It's really good.
cuisine, and it's really freaking good. And so it's called Luigi's. And Dad he had gone a couple times at this point for work, and none of us had ever gone. And this would have been, I think this was potentially after the lunch money fight, because I don't know if Becca was still in
No,
high
because the whole issue was that I wasn't there
yeah,
to like go with you guys, so I was probably in college.
Yeah, so it was like maybe after, still within a similar time frame. But we went because for Dairy Bowl, my team, which was my brother, it was Tyler and I, and then like our cousin, and then a local friend, we won at states, so we were going to nationals for a convention, and so to like, celebrate. Yeah, so again, another important thing was tied into this food. Oh,
Was this the when I was in Europe? Did you win this?
No, because I went with
No.
Dad.
We won different years.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we were already going to Luigi's to celebrate. Of like, oh, hey, it's like the Dairy Bowl team. We're going to nationals. Let's go celebrate. And then again, getting food that, and even so, I've not had Luigi's since. I've only gone once, knowing that I'm probably never going to get to go back again. And so went to Luigi's. It was amazing, delicious food. And I'm pretty sure I got chicken parmesan. I really think I got chicken parm. Okay, and then Becca, maybe someone else got chicken Alfredo to bring home. But
There were a couple of things in the fridge.
yeah, it was delicious. It was amazing. We had some leftovers and brought the leftovers home. And so at this moment, I already was so excited thinking about my leftovers. When you have really good leftovers and it's all you think about, you're like, wow, I can't wait to eat my leftovers and hope nobody fucking touches them. I came home and Becca ate my chicken parmesan. I don't even know where I went and to when I came back to it, but Becca had, I don't know if you ate all of it or most of it. I think she...
No, I ate all... Dad made me a plate.
And
He's
he
like,
gave her my chicken parmesan.
He gave me all the leftovers. Like, there was none left.
Yeah, so I was
no.
excited.
No, I remember this. He told me, now I remember. This is where it gets really bad, because I could have not eaten your leftovers.
No, she wanted to, though. See, she wanted to ruin my life.
See, okay, there was Alfredo and chicken parm in the fridge, and I don't like Alfredo that much. So Dad was like, yeah, there's Luigi's in the fridge. Eat whatever you want.
This is Dad's fault now.
Yeah, no, and so I ate, not even thinking, like, I was so excited because I didn't get to go, that they thought of me, that, like, oh, Becca gets some. I was not
thinking of you at all.
Emmy, I would have been mad at you too. I take no, this one's me, this one's on me. I remember you got home and went to, like, go look for your leftovers.
I was so excited about it. So excited.
And I was like, but I remember, I feel like I probably said, but there's still chicken Alfredo.
Yeah,
and
you, like, tried justifying it, and I was like, no!
I don't even know if I was trying to justify it. I was probably trying to, like, keep you from having an actual mental breakdown.
Didn't work.
I remember you being outside screaming about
I don't remember, like, what happened afterwards. I just remember realizing it, and I was so mad. I was trying to justify my chicken parm being eaten.
Literally, I think, like, blacked out from anger. That's, like, one of the maddest I've ever seen you.
I was so excited, and Becca crushed it. She crushed me in that moment.
She was so mad.
And I've never had it since, so...
Me either.
Well, you live in Pennsylvania. You can go. I'm in the South. I can't go. When am I going to go? Don't try to justify it. You can just drive on over. It's like an hour from you, probably.
It's like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
There's one that's like 40 minutes.
Okay, exactly. So
we thought about going there for Valentine's Day, but then we kept delaying Valentine's Day to a point where we just went somewhere local.
Well, that's
that's
our experience with Luigi's, but it's not as
when I tell you, Emmy's head literally exploded. Oh my god, she was so mad.
Yes.
She was so mad.
So yeah, that's what y'all need to know about me. I take my food very seriously, which then I take my leftovers very seriously. I probably maybe don't take my leftovers as seriously now because, like, we're just we eat good. We like to go out often. We've been in Gainesville. There's a lot of good spots. But then it was like, when are we ever going to go back here? Like, we don't often go out to go to different, like, completely different places.
And food was always a family experience or a reward for us.
Yeah. So
I ruined it. I did. Like,
look at Becca taking responsibility now.
Well, because I'm just thinking, like, in the moment, I was probably like, this
Psycho.
Dumb, crazy bee. Like, get over it. But now, if someone ate my leftovers...
You get it.
I mean, I would have gotten it then. It would have been me in your position.
And more so when you just look forward to it. It's like when, I don't know, maybe I had a sports practice or something, or maybe we had a dairy bowl practice, and it was like, me strutting into the kitchen, opening my fridge, where's my food? Oh, Becca ate it. Immediate scene red.
I didn't sleep that night for fear of Emily killing me.
She survived, thank God. Now she's here. Yay. I've had some good chicken parm since then, but just in that moment, this was the best chicken parm I'd ever had.
So funny.
So we'll move on before I get too sad thinking about this chicken parmesan that I never got to have. And our last but not least, this is kind of a collage of fights, but I feel like more adult fights than there's always like moments, but any more serious fight have just been fights that involve alcohol.
And it's usually me trying to take care of Emily.
Yeah, and I just get
belligerent,
mean and sassy. Sassy and violent.
3 examples I can think of.
Okay, you list them off.
So there was one time at our mom's house, and our stepbrothers were there, and we were both in college. Yeah, they even had to intervene because my mom was like, "These two are fucking idiots.
I don't want to touch them."
So I'm like, "Okay." So my mom lives by at a spring, and it's like a constant 50 degrees or something.
Yeah, 50 or 60. Cold.
It was winter, brisk. And Emily wanted to jump in this spring, and for some reason,
at night in winter,
me not being able to just let it go because I was drunk, which is the issue here. I got so mad at Emily for wanting to jump in there, and I like thinking she was gonna drown, and I can't even.
Also,
remember.
it would have gone up to like my shoulders. Like
If
it is
that.
not that
Literally,
deep.
if
Maybe my waist. Like it's not deep either.
Oh,
It's like a cold plunge.
I was like, one of the mutated carp will eat you.
The trout.
Trout, sorry. But I was just like, okay, silly example of I was yelling at her for wanting to do this. Another example is we were in college. It was after, or no, remember whenever I lived with Chitty, you fell asleep at Zach's?
Oh my! This was
This was
the one
Thanksgiving
time that
Eve.
I went out on Thanksgiving
Eve.
The one and
Yeah.
only time.
We went to Zach's.
So I went hard, and what y'all need to know, I was I've probably been a menace in some capacity my whole life, but like college Emily and a few years after college, like with drinking, like I would go hard. Okay, that's what y'all need to know.
And like, remember whenever I told you she was violent? Emily is so much stronger than me. Okay,
I like to prove that. If like people like question that in any capacity, whether they realize it or not, if I think they're questioning it, it's like, oh, I've got something to prove here.
So we had to have. I might be mixing them up, but the moment I'm thinking of is when Elle's mom had to drive us home, or she was going to drive us home anyways from the bar. Andrea.
Oh.
And Emily refused to get out of the car because she was mad at me.
So awkward.
And she like braced herself
Oh no.
to not get out of the car, and I literally had to kick Emily, like literally in the back. I had to kick her, and she fell face first into the snow.
This is so mean. See, unfortunately, I don't really, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, I really don't remember much of that. So,
Oh my god!
this is
And
all
then-
me relying on Becca's end of the storytelling. The night was fun, other
Well,
than that, I think.
Yeah. And I should have just always just let you go, but I would always get so upset.
Well, I did have to get out the car, though. Like, I couldn't just hang out there.
Like
I
someone
did
had
need
to
get
take
out.
you home, and it was me.
Yeah,
and,
like, you did have
so
to do
Emily
something.
laid face first in that snowbank, and I just left her there
I'm like, how long did you leave me there?
that long.
Like I said,
Like I went inside and I came back out and I got you. I was
Thank
like,
goodness.
Oh my god.
well, it didn't refresh me at all, the snow in my face.
No, and then the Melbourne fight. This one's actually funny.
This one's a year ago.
Or
Yeah. A year ago.
Oh my gosh, we were with my friend Ella.
Again, alcohol.
And we were like the three of us were just out hanging out, and we had all had way too it was time to go home.
Weeks. We hadn't been together, and then like starting at dinner, it was immediately like, let's get doubles.
Yeah.
And it was like, shouldn't have done that.
And I could see like eyes glassing over, and I was
the
really
dead eyes.
The dead eyes. And I called an Uber, and Emily went back in to buy her these random people shots.
Yeah, why not? I also love shots.
I put Ella in the Uber and told the Uber driver, do not leave without me. And then I went in to get Emily, and Emily was so mad at me.
Well, 'cause I did already at that point spend the money on. I shouldn't have gone back in.
Yeah.
I should not have gone back in. But I did already spend the money. Becca was like, we gotta go. I was like, motherfucker. Like, I just spent money on this.
No, and I was like, you don't need the shot anyways. Like, you
I
do
didn't.
not need this. So we left without you taking the shot.
I was
made
very
you
mad.
leave.
For a moment.
And then
Well, no,
we
probably
got back out to the Uber, and the Uber driver was like, is this guy with you? A guy tried getting in the car with Ella.
Yeah, so just creepy vibes all around.
Then he started like yelling at me. He called me a C word.
Ew.
Yeah, he was like pissed. He was definitely trying to go home with Ella and like that was not good.
No.
That was like predator vibes.
And I instigated
And
all of it.
Ella's
Well,
just-
didn't instigate it, but I caused an issue.
Well, I mean, it's not your fault. That guy was a total.
Yeah.
Ella finally stopped resisting because she had already fallen asleep in the back of the Uber.
Like, all right, I'll go home.
And
I
got
still
home.
lots of energy.
We got back to the hotel room. Emily's still yelling at me about making us leave, and finally they
So
both fall
dramatic.
asleep.
Like, I needed more alcohol.
And I was yelling at them, like trying to reason with them. See, that's my problem. Is I'm always trying to reason with people.
Yeah, like this is
When they're
gonna go
drunk,
nowhere.
and I'm not reasonable. And I remember they both fell asleep, so I ordered McDonald's and didn't wake them up.
And then we woke up in the morning, and I think we saw the McDonald's bags, and we're like, when did we get McDonald's? She's like, you didn't. I did. Like, make it very clear and very known that I got this. You did it. Oh, I even think at one point that night, I think Elle and I might have puked outside of the hotel, too.
You both did, and I had to clean you both up.
The joys of sisterhood.
That's okay. One time you guys had to take care of me. Remember the tequila shots we took with Aaron and Ella? After all that sushi and sake, and then you guys had to cover for me while I threw up inside a bush?
Yep. Good times.
Yeah, not proud of this.
This is what sisters are for. You fight and want to murder each other and eat each other's leftovers, and then you make up and you protect each other and support each other. And the only people you would actually kill or hurt would be the people that try to mess with both of you. So
yeah, like only we're allowed to mess with each other.
Yeah, like back off. You can't call me mean things, or I will take it. This is bad.
Only I'm allowed to say this.
Yeah, only we can be mean to each other, unintentionally, like irrationally acting towards each other.
Man, I'm just spiteful.
And I'm none of mine has ever been intentional. Well, the biting obviously was, but me just existing. How I am can just cause fights, I guess. My being late, my protectiveness of food, and I like to party. I like to party, and my need to prove that I'm strong.
Like literally, Emily has this burning desire. I've seen her run away. I've seen her try to leg wrestle. I've seen her try to arm wrestle.
I've deadlifted some of Tyler's friends too while drinking, and I've done it successfully.
It's like the Hulk comes out.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah, I have to prove myself to myself. No one gives a shit.
And I turn into some tiny little crybaby. Like Emily turns into the Hulk, and I turn into a tiny little crybaby when I'm drunk.
I was a warrior in my other life. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know how you wrap up that, but that's the fights. Those are the unhinged sister fights, and I'm glad we kind of gave one at every stage of life, and I feel like anyone listening may be able to relate in some capacity, just of understanding the irrational thoughts on each side of like,
if you can't laugh at how ridiculous it is, like, then what is it? Like, it is so funny.
Oh man,
our fights are ridiculous. I would love to I don't really remember fighting with Tyler. I feel like Aaron and I were both too old to fight with Tyler.
You were 5 years pregnant then.
I remember fighting with Aaron, and that's because the way you were a menace to me, I was a menace to Aaron. She wouldn't hide her candy. I would steal her toys, her like little crystal glass frogs. I would eat her cheese puffs. One time she called me a mean name after I did something mean to her, so I put soap on her toothbrush.
Okay, so Becca's evil too.
Oh yeah, no.
Siblings in general.
You were karma.
Well, and that's what I know. Quickly, one of Ty and I's fights. I don't remember what we were even fighting about, but Ty and I's fights would get physical more so because he's a boy, I'm a girl, like more than us.
Because Emily was like, "No, I'm strong."
So at one point, this is probably maybe would have been the last time then that I could have overpowered Tyler, but we were just like somehow gone to this kind of wrestling match. And I remember his finger's still messed up. His fingernail is still messed up. I got his hand and one of his fingernails, like I stove it into the ground or something, and it just like bent the nail back bad. And I was like, oh no. I realized at that moment, I was like, oh no, I just did something bad. And then Tyler slapped me.
You deserved it.
He like rolled over and slapped me. And I just remember I was so shocked. I was like, oh my God, Tyler just slapped me. And then I don't remember what happened after that. I don't know if we like just moved on because we're both like, well, that was traumatic. We're gonna leave now.
I did not know this happened.
Dude, yeah, he'll bring it up. Like, look it's one of his nails. One of his nails have like a crazy bend in it. I think that's from one of our fights when we were younger.
I did not know he slapped you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I messed with his nail and Tyler like went bam and slapped me. So deservingly. But I was just so shook. I was like, oh my God. You slapped me.
I cannot. Oh my God.
So yeah, those are more of Ty and I's. Probably there's been plenty of others, but ours were a little more physical.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I can't believe you shoved his finger and then he slapped you.
Yeah, I don't even, we were just like...
That's so funny that you both, like, probably realized in the moment, oh, we're
like,
both fucked.
we took this way too far. That's also the funny thing with when you're siblings, when you realize, like, you took a fight too far. Especially when you're younger, still in the house.
Please don't tell.
Yeah, then you start to panic, like, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it here. I don't remember if we tattled on each other, probably. If Ty and I did.
You probably tattled on Tyler.
No, I don't know. I hope I maybe realized, like, I deserved it. I think maybe we just moved on.
Oh, you mean in that moment specifically?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, otherwise, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
oh my God,
well it's like, it feels awkward moving on to, like, what's your weekly obsession after we just talked about unhinged sibling fights, mostly sister fights, but we do have to wrap up our episode. We could have came up with a funny one, like something around fighting or something, but we took it a little bit of a different spin.
What's your favorite way to take out your aggression?
Yeah, that's our new weekly obsession. No, but if anyone has good tips, though, let us know. We're obviously still working through some things. And I'll be heading into like
laughing so bad that my nose is running.
Yeah. Sorry. And so, weekly obsession, your current fave dairy product. And I mostly just I did this because I have like 2 ones that I can't stop eating right now. And I was like, I just want to talk about them. So, Becca, do you want me to go first or you go first?
Sure. You go first.
Okay. So, this one, well, neither should be no surprise. Painterland Sisters Skyr Yogurt. So these are the two sisters, Haley and Stephanie. We had them on our podcast last year, and y'all, this yogurt's so freaking delicious. But why it can like be my physical obsession right now is because they're in Publix, and
oh yeah, that's recent.
Yes, yeah. So they're in Publix, so that's where I can like actually eat it now. Every week, and we were moving, but right now we live right beside a Publix, and I'll still get it in Georgia. But oh my gosh, this yogurt is just delicious. And I don't know if I've always liked it, but especially now with being pregnant, just with it being like kind of thick and creamy and higher fat content, it is like me and this yogurt are vibing right now. And so the vanilla one is my favorite currently. And it's like something I look forward to every day. I had some last night and it was just delicious. So like, yeah, like creamy, fatty things right now. And it's not fatty. It's like very great macros, but just higher fat, full fat content. Yeah. It is yum. Absolutely delicious. So shout out Sisters on that one. And lactate protein milk is another one I love right now. So this is basically like Fairlife, but for whatever reason, our Publix has been out of Fairlife the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, they just can't, I don't
keep up with demand probably. Yeah. So they haven't had any Fairlife, but lactate protein milk, it's the same amount of protein. They don't remove as much of the carbs as like Fairlife would, so the calories are a little different, which not a big deal, but just point out a little of the differences there. But Becca knows this because she's been an OG lactate girl. Lactate milk tastes so good. We got it for the first time, just like unintentionally. We're like, this is so good.
It's because, okay, so nerd out moment. Lactose-free milk they don't take out the lactose. Mm-hmm. What they do is they put in the lactase enzyme that like your body is supposed to have the lactase enzyme that breaks down lactose into, I think, glucose and sucrose, which are sweeter sugars. So for lactose intolerant people, what you do is you put the lactase enzyme into the milk and it breaks down those sugars, that lactose for you. Oh. And glucose and sucrose are sugars with a sweet flavor. Mm-hmm. So that's why that milk it's sweeter, and that's why it has that different taste.
It's literally so good, y'all. And yeah, Fairlife, for however they process theirs, theirs does not taste like this. I still love Fairlife, but the lactate
because Fairlife, I think, does so many other things.
Yeah,
that
the
are
ultra filters.
Theirs is like cold filtration, and Fairlife is its own proprietary thing. Whereas like lactate
just like popping it in,
it would probably taste similar to any other, just like general kind of generic lactose-free milk.
Okay, but yeah, so it is. If y'all just like, I could chug milk always, but the lactate milk, oh my god,
it's so good.
It's
you know
so
what though?
Good.
Their chocolate milk is kind of lame. And it's
Oh,
even
really?
whole chocolate milk, yeah. It's just kind of like, it's not very, it tastes like a low-fat chocolate milk. And it's a whole chocolate milk.
Oh, interesting. Bummer. So yeah, but those are mine. And again, it's, well, Lactate regular milk is great, but their protein milk, it just has the same amount of protein as Fairlife does. So it's a fun, easy way to get in a couple more grams of protein. So those are mine, and might have some this morning of both of them.
Love it. I'm drinking my chocolate Lactate right now.
Yes. Okay, well then, what are yours? Or one?
Well, I have one current obsession and then one I'm excited to like make my personality. I'm late on this. But the one I really love is I got a butter crock, like a really cute yellow ceramic butter crock to keep butter. And I also have my unsalted butter on the counter now. So I have both my butters, which I never had before.
So fancy.
And the butter crock, I put the Kerrygold in it. Like the really good yellow butter. Oh my god, so good. And
Yellow and yellow, I like it.
Having that on toast, and then I put on some of my flaky, crunchy sea salt on top. I know the butter's already salted. Oh, with the flaky sea salt.
Butter and bread, it's just such a hard combo to be better than.
Well, the crock keeps the butter the perfect texture.
I need to get one.
It doesn't get like too soft. It still stays semi-firm, but it's spreadable. It's perfect. I love it. I'm obsessed.
We always grew up.
Obsessed.
Well, we always grew up with our butter on the counter like that. Well, not in a fancy little.
It's
thing.
different in that versus the crock.
Oh,
I can't explain it.
it's
probably just
it's a
'cause it's
lived
pretty-
experience you have to have.
And then the other one I'm excited to try is I never got into the Boursin cheese pastas.
Ooh, that cheese is like crack. I don't know what they put in it.
Garlic.
No, but like the texture of it. It's just it's so different.
So I'm gonna make next week for Yvonne and Caleb. I'm excited. It's with Boursin cheese. I chat GPT'd this recipe. I was like,
Our personal assistant.
On the oh my god, I love chat GPT. And I had him tweak it until I liked the amount of steps that it took. So, but it's Boursin cheese, pasta, chicken, broccoli, and lemon. And I'm
yummy.
very excited
Yum.
to try this ChatGPT Boursin cheese pasta.
That sounds delicious. Yeah, that Boursin cheese.
Oh my god, unbelievable!
Anytime
Do you
get
follow
it.
Cheese Gal on Instagram?
I don't. Maybe I should.
Oh, she's amazing. She is married to like some singer, like some songwriter in Nashville, and she had a business making charcuterie boards, but now her business is like, what are they called? Couch snack pairings, but it always has some sort of cheese and cracker.
Oh,
and like
I'm gonna look
wine.
after this. Cheese gal.
Cheese Gal.
Okay.
Yeah, her name's Courtney. Oh my god, she loves Boursin cheese.
If someone doesn't love it, I don't know what's wrong with your taste buds. It's just
You crazy.
yummy, so good.
Yep. So I'm excited for that one to become an obsession.
Yeah, and then you can fill us in on whatever episode that would be, like probably a week or two from now.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, well now we both have delicious things. We need to go eat because again, we're recording this in the morning. We're not morning people, but this podcast.
Yeah, Phoebe's at the door. I think she really has to take a poo.
Oh. All right. Well, on that note, thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for listening to our Unhinged Sister Fights. It's honestly so funny and enjoyable talking about them again because I love laughing. I love listening to how stupid and irrational we were. But as always, we're on all socials at Cowgirl Talk. If you enjoyed the episode or the show, please rate, subscribe, share, do your thing. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, y'all.
And as always, have a great have a great day.
Have a great cow. Wait, let's try that again. And on that note.
And as always, have a great day, cowgirls. Bye.
Bye.